Let's move to this now. The uMkhonto Wesizwe party recently celebrated its 2nd anniversary. Well, to discuss this and reflect on where the party is 2 years on, SABC News political editor Mzwandile Mbeje is in studio, joined by the party's head of presidency, Magasela Mzobe.
Well, thank you very much indeed. We are with the head of MKP Presidency, Magasela Mzobe, to really reflect on the journey that they have been traveling. They are 2 years old. They celebrated about 2 days ago. But of course, I'm not going to be saying anything or many things because there are people qualified to say that. Mr. Mzobe, good to have you. And I see before even we went on camera, you seemed upbeat. So what makes you upbeat? As the official opposition status, have you adapted well to it?
Thanks, Mzwandile and the viewers at home. It's the end of the year, a very long year. And our bodies and minds can tell that we need to go and rest. Yeah. Looking back, indeed, we're looking back at the year with pride and comfort that uMkhonto has played its role as an official opposition. We had some challenges like any other political party, but we think we're closing the year on a high note. We're closing the year confident that we are ready for 2026.
Well, talking about some of the issues really as the official opposition and some of the challenges, perhaps I may just jump into this issue where your leader, who leads the official opposition, is on suspension, Dr. Hlophe. Just bring us up to speed. What is happening? Is he coming back?
I think we should not read too much into that and press panic buttons. You know that the president has just arrived from a very successful trip in Burkina Faso, where he was championing the interest of South Africans and the continent, and was bombarded with calls about the removal of the chief whip, Colin, and he had to take an immediate decision to calm the situation, not to remove the deputy president entirely from parliament. He remains a member of parliament. He remains a first deputy president of MK, suspended pending the inquiry, because the president wanted to satisfy himself what were the underlying factors that led to that drastic decision. So from where I'm sitting, he remains a leader of the party, suspended. That's why Comrade Des was not appointed as an official leader permanently. Yeah. Was appointed as an acting leader in parliament. I'm quite confident that once president has applied his mind, Comrade Deputy President would continue playing the role that the President will assign him, or even continue where he is.
So where are we in terms of the disciplinary process that was to be had after this?
It has started. I know that I was asked to send a letter to his office, the Deputy President, who accepted the letter that the inquiry will start. President was asking for his full cooperation, and he didn't confirm that he would fully cooperate with the situation and the inquiry. I'm quite sure when we come back into the new year next year, it should be done by end of January. I'm quite confident.
Does it not worry you, Mr. Mzobe, that there appears to be this perception that there is such a high turnover of leadership in the MK? I would actually march on to another position, which is that of Secretary General. Yes, you have one now, but I mean, over the 2 years, you have had about 6, 7?
Look, if you look at it from outside, and even outside, it does worry, but in context, it was expected, in all fairness. President Zuma did not form uMkhonto Wesizwe like all other political parties, where you call people, share ideas, build up into the formation of the organization. Then you are able to identify people you need for each position. He did it some guerrilla warfare style. They just woke up, South Africans were hearing about a new political party 6 months, 5 months into elections. There's no time to build an organization. You want people to go and vote. You've got no time to deal with all other dynamics of identifying capacity. And he then had to build an organization backward now, where you have a serious responsibility of being an official opposition. And 99% of the members of parliament are new in the formalized political arena. They are from professions. They've been doctors, engineers, lawyers. So they must acclimatize with the new environment of the responsibility. The organization was left without its best cadres, because all of them had to be deployed in parliament and legislature. So President Zuma has been trying to identify this person and the other, but because you are a third largest party and you are the 45% vote in KZN, you are official opposition in Mpumalanga, you are playing a more significant role in Gauteng, it's always going to be difficult to find people who will immediately hit the ground running. Hence, the unfortunate situation of changes in the SGs. But I'm quite confident now that with the one that is current, he is probably going to take us into the next local government elections and beyond.
So would you attribute some of those shortcomings perhaps to the fact that you are not in charge of KZN as we sit here, despite that you were just 5% away from outright majority?
Look, Mzwandile, something very, very, very unusual happened after elections.
Yeah.
You expected that because the ANC got 40% national, democratic principles tells you that they should lead government. Whether you like Ramaphosa or the ANC, the fact that they got their highest number of votes at 40%, you expected the same in Gauteng, 35, 40, so it's far below 50%. But democratic principle says the one who got the highest number of votes must form government. Now, in KZN, something that we have not seen, in all fairness, MK got 45%, and opposition gang up, and Helen Zille says it openly, that will never allow KZN to be led by MK, despite 45%, higher than Cyril Ramaphosa, higher than Panyaza, but everyone was saying, no, it can't happen, that MK must lead.
Yeah, but would you not then attribute some of that to actually your own instability in the party? Because some of the accusations outside is that we tried to reach out to MK, it was nowhere to be found. No. So that's probably the reason why they steamed ahead without the MK.
No, it's not true. It's not true. It's absolutely not true. Fortunately, I was very close to the negotiations. I mean, President Zuma, on the eve of election of the Premier, met with the leader of NFP. The instruction was communicated openly. The public knows that. Helen Zille, long before the negotiations, said we cannot allow KZN to be led by MK, even went further to say they can't let KZN people to the dogs. Now, we're not making this thing up. So the decision was taken long before those. And precisely because of the GNU, IFP and the DA and the ANC had to take that down into KZN. They tried in Gauteng. Fortunately, Panyaza did not buy the story of DA imposing itself. So it was premeditated before we even could enter into negotiations.
You tried last week, it didn't work out. So where did you go wrong?
You know the unfortunate thing, I was born, raised in KZN. We're not talking about what is happening with the commission, the political killing task team. It's not a theory to some of us. We buried people like Omakaka that we knew. If you go to the history of Newcastle and recent history, many comrades we grew up with, went to school with, attended each other's weddings, were killed because of the political intolerance. Now, we can't be naive and think members of provincial legislature in KZN are immune from the possibility of being killed by criminals and political thugs. So that is why we said, let's go to the secret ballot, where all of us, if MK loses, we'll accept it. We accepted it last time, despite how the voting was taking place. Take election or removal, the vote of no confidence, into a secret ballot, where members of the provincial legislature will freely express how they feel about the performance of the Premier. On the eve of the vote of no confidence, our members were receiving messages, not fabricated. We had to open a case. Police, I'm sure the political task team will be seized with that. That you want to remove us from and affect our bread on the table, you will see what will happen to you. Now, it's not an imagination. We're not paranoid. It's a reality that we know if this vote of no confidence goes into a secret ballot, which is the best method to test democracy, we know we'll win it.
Are you saying here the reason why MK wants a secret ballot, it's because of the tensions politically that could rise should the results go one way or the other?
We're talking about KZN. We're not imagining. South Africa, if you're talking about the political killing task team of Gerard Mkonas, it's not people killed in Northern Cape. 99% of the investigations they're doing is political leaders killed in KZN. Now, that is publicly available. All we are asking is, we're on the eve of local government elections, where tensions will be extremely high. We know that the IFP premier got 18% of votes. By all standards, that's fail. He knows he's leading the province illegitimately, so the level of desperation cannot be underestimated on how people will react if they know that Magasela Mzobe, belonging to our party, voted to remove the premier that we love so much in their own parties. We can't risk that on the eve of local government elections. That's why we really do believe that we need a secret ballot to determine.
Yeah. But there's also a view that perhaps the way the MK party went about may not have taken into account some of the key players in the legislature. You may not have consulted sufficiently with parties that will assist you. Let's say, for example, it passes, but then no one else is willing to vote for you, for your premier. So a party like the ANC, a party like the AFP, or even a party like the DA. So have you engaged, did you engage any of those?
We're not spectators to this matter. We were driving it. We know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Bring the vote of no confidence and allow a secret ballot. We don't need to talk to political parties. We're talking to members of provincial legislatures. Political parties don't vote. It's Mzwandile Mbeje, who's sewn in as an MPL, Magasela Mzobe is sewn in. Let those members, 8 of them, decide.
But they carry the mandate of the party.
No, but when vote of no confidence were coming to President Zuma, and that's where the hypocrisy come from. When President Zuma was a president of the country and there were vote of no confidence, all these political parties, opposition, were saying, can you allow members of the ANC to use their conscience, take this thing into a secret ballot so that we know for sure if President Zuma has the support of the parliament. We are asking the same thing. We're not inventing something not known in South Africa.
Actually,
allow 80 members of the provincial legislature in KZN to vote secret the same way they voted the premier in. It was a secret ballot.
But in fact,
to remove him, want to use a secret ballot.
Using the example of former President Zuma, he actually was arguing in Parliament for an open vote. So why in KZN?
I'm saying to you,
yeah,
KZN political killing is not our imagination.
Okay.
It's a reality. And worse on the eve of what will seem like a highly contested local government elections. We are requesting that the political leadership in KZN be responsible and not be reckless. Allow a secret ballot. If they are confident that their members will take a party line, why not just simply say, okay, let's vote so that this process takes a few minutes. We are confident our members love the premier. And if we'd lost, we take our bags, we go.
Okay, to conclude this issue, what now? Are you done with KZN? Are you taking it forward?
We can't be done. It's not possible. People of KZN, 45% of them voted for MK. The second largest party has 18%. Yourself, you never allow your child, a school that got 45% to be led by a child that got 18%. It's not possible. All we are doing now, the lawyers are looking at it. Will probably look at going to court to force the speaker to grant a secret ballot on a basis of the possible threat to the lives of political leaders in KZN, and we'll take the.
If that fails, motion. Assuming that fails, is there anything else you're going to do, or just say,
no, we can't. We're plotting here. We want to take government. It's sufficient what we're saying, that we'll go to court.
Okay.
But I can tell you we're coming back next day with the vote of no confidence.
Oh, with the vote, that's what I wanted to know.
No, it will be there. Because if we don't do that, we run a risk
in a month,
of
2 months, 3 months?
No, let's go on holidays now. Let's go relax, come back early. The leadership is meeting in January. Because if we don't do that, allow a party that's got the highest number of votes to lead, you run a risk of the people of KwaZulu-Natal rendering a government ungovernable. So we can't be responsible. We need to do justice and respect the democratic expression of the people. The same way when you go to local government elections, we expect a party that gets 45% in the municipality to constitute a government.
Okay. Fair enough. You're speaking about local government already. There's a party that you've been saying you will be working with, ATM, for example. So what are the modalities of working together with ATM? So will you be contesting together? What exactly is going to be happening? So what is your approach to local government elections in regard to other parties?
We would contest under one banner, most probably. We have agreed the final position will be told to the public early January as we launch the election campaign. But what I can tell members of uMkhonto, Wesizwe and ATM is that we will go to the ballot as one organization. It might be different strategies per municipalities, but you will not find where MK Party and ATM appear in the same ballot paper.
The issue around one of your members, Duduzile Zomasambula, who has stepped back from her responsibilities, and I know she was part of the international relations, I think, member in the MKP. So given that she has stepped back, given those issues around sending people to Ukraine or Russia, number one, so I know you've had a press conference to try and clarify those matters, but I would obviously, now sitting with you, I would need perhaps a bit of clarity as what is the status of that those people who are in Ukraine, because someone who is involved is your member, is the member of the High Command. I know she has stepped back, but she was a member. So what is the status of those people? And then, of course, is she still continuing with her responsibilities internationally?
Look, the issue of the youth that was taken to Russia and subsequently to Ukraine is the most unfortunate thing that has happened. It's very painful to all of us, because some of us, when we look at the people that are there, it's people we have met, it's people that we've got relations with, including Comrade Dudu herself. So it's a very painful episode, especially because we're hoping that by this time those young people will have been returned back safely at home. So it's true that Comrade Dudu on her own, realizing that this matter is becoming too big, and she requested that can she focus in helping to return those children and give government as much as information she has to help fast track the process of bringing them home. Therefore, she requested that she be allowed to step back and not participate in parliament or leadership structures of the organization. But she remains a member of uMkhonto Wesizwe, and I'm sure Parliament, through Chief Whip and the party leader, would soon identify someone to serve in the Committee of International Relations.
In terms of the actual people there, so in terms of the report, so what is happening?
Look, unfortunately now, it has reached a stage where government has taken charge, and we really are available to help where we think we can help. Every day we are talking to some of the family members, and government, using diplomatic channels, is interacting with the Russian Federation and trying to fast track, because it appears that they are no longer within the borders of Russia as well. They've entered the war zone in Ukraine. So it's a bit complicated than we all wish it was. But we pray that government will use all its resources, as they've said publicly through the mouth of the president, to help bring those young people safely. Yeah. And I'm sure once they're back, they will themselves account on how things transpired, because we see that people think Dudu might have taken money, and where we're sitting, quite honestly, without venturing into the details, we don't think. We think she was a victim of trusting someone that presented a program that looked like a legitimate program, and in hindsight, on her own account, she would have done much better. Yeah. To verify the legitimacy of the relationship.
Yeah, because I think we're drawing to a close now. Just a quick one on the legal challenges that I think the MK has been pursuing. I just have a question that has been very interesting to me. As the MK party, do you have confidence in the judiciary?
Look, we can't throw a blanket approach. It's a I mean, we belong into this country. But judiciary has been acting very suspiciously, because Mkhwanazi himself, General Mkhwanazi, did say that judiciary has been very dodgy in dealing with some of the drug dealers, political killings. It does not mean every single one participating within the judiciary system is a rotten apple. But when we are sitting here, you ask yourself that it's almost 12 months now. One of the biggest cases about the integrity of the president of the country, the Phala judgment. Why would the Phala judgment take 10 months when the Chief Justice tells lower courts that within 3 months you must pass judgment? Now, we must sit here, act naive, that it's got nothing to do with the fact that the president is at the center of that problem. And the interviews of the former Chief Justice, it was publicly. Just Zondo failed dismal an interview, like publicly, everyone saw it. But President felt that, no, let me appoint him, even though he was left with few months as a constitutional court judge. So there are elements where we think, like recently, a magistrate was being charged for criminality. But overall, we think if they can stop protecting the sitting president and the drug cartels, we might find ourselves having a credible judiciary to preside over the grievances of the citizens.
Well, we can never have enough time to discuss some of these issues. In 30 seconds, just tell me, what is MK going to be doing for the next year ahead of the elections? 30 seconds, otherwise I have no time.
Look, it's launching structures of campaign, revamping provincial leadership structures. We need to publicly pronounce our manifesto for local government elections, and we all get ready to go and vote MK party to govern municipalities.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mzobe.
Thank you.
Well, that is Magasela Mzobe, the head of MKP presidency, talking about the second year anniversary of MK. Of course, a lot to reflect on as we take the break.